Yeah, obviously I haven't had a cut because of this whole quarantine scare. But yeah, man, let's get into it. So, man, what is going on in the world today? Like, what is going on, bro? That's what a lot of people are waking up. They're just like, oh man, what is this? Like, this is so unfamiliar. This is so abstract. Like, oh my gosh. And it is. It is. But I'm not really too pressed on going back to the way things were either. You feel me? Like, I'm cool with where we're going. Mainly because I know myself. Like, I ain't gonna lie. If I didn't take the time out to meditate and to really go within and figure out who I am, like, I'd be probably a little freaked out right now because I wouldn't have any direction. You know, it's real easy to lose yourself in this society now, especially during this time of this apocalypse because we getting so much information left and right, left and right, left and right, and it's like what's wrong and what's right. And in order to get that answer, you have to have discernment. But how do you get discernment? It's like, how do you get that? How do you figure out what is right, what is wrong? Like, that's where meditation comes in at. Trusting your intuition. Your intuition is your sixth sense. It's something that is not been explained enough. It's something that's not talked about enough, but it is real, okay? It's a real thing, all right? So during this apocalypse time, it's important that the things that you know, and the things that you don't know, you learn. And the things that you know that are wrong, you unlearn. That doesn't necessarily mean that the world is about to blow up tomorrow, okay? But the world that we are living in, the world that we were living in, how the systems were ran, how things were operated and done is over with. And you can clearly see that. We're at a time now where we're really in a forward progression of integrating technology with the human. We got the smart grid on the way. That's already being in place. Like these 5G towers and stuff, like they're putting it not just so our cell phones can have faster speed, it's so technology in itself can move faster. All right. And in order for that to do that, the signal of 4G, they had to create a 10 times a frequency 10 times stronger than 4G for it. I think it's 100 times. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's strong as fuck. And basically, it's sending all these millimeter frequency waves like through our bodies when you're that's what's causing people to have these respiratory system issues and stuff, right? But here's the thing, it's gonna happen anyway. You wanna know why? Because people don't question. And hey, tech isn't all bad, but I will say with this 5G and the way we're going to the smart cities, the smart hub, the smart systems, bro, we already like part cyborg because of our cell phone. We wake up every day. First thing people checking is their messages. First thing people checking is their feed. All that they TL. You know what I'm saying? We already transitioning into like this tech world. That means that you'll be tracked from everywhere. Your car is gonna be smart. They're making smart houses. I used to work at Best Buy, and they had during the time I was working there. Obviously they're ahead of technology, so they're gonna have like the Ring doorbells where everything's connected straight to your phone. You have the smart lights, the smart lock where you can unlock your front door from your phone. Okay, so everything is starting to transition in to more so in the more technology forward society. Okay, with that being said, it's like what they're doing is they're pushing the tech on you so fast that you don't really have time to analyze things and see the direction that we're going in. That's why it's important during this quarantine time to sit back and to really meditate, figure out what's going on in the world. Don't necessarily be mad or be upset or, what I'm saying, be affected by what's going on, but just know. You should know. Um, but yeah, so Bill Gates is, he was attempting to make a vaccine for the and COVID-19. And the crazy thing about that is that you're getting somebody who specializes in tech, the guy who created Microsoft, to create a vaccine for the health industry. Like, how, I understand that, there's plenty of people with many talents, you know, um, but how is it that you bring somebody who doesn't have like a big background in the health industry, and you have them design a vaccine? Okay, this guy specializes in tech. So if he specializes in tech, then you have to know that there is some tech behind the vaccine. There's some tech within the vaccine. It's gonna be there. Like, there's no other reason why Bill Gates would be the guy, over it. So speculation is saying that there's gonna be a nanochip within the vaccine if he is the one that authorizes it, and at the same time he's trying to make it a requirement for everybody to take the vaccine. Now, we as human beings have basic human rights. You know what I'm saying? At this point in time, it's very, very important for everybody to think for themselves. We have all these different media outlets that influence the way we think. So every day, we waking up and we getting on the phone and we looking at these different sites like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, and all you see all day are different opinions. All you see all day are different opinions. So if you don't have a strong enough mind to discern between what's correct and what's not correct, then you're gonna go with the flow. Now, going with the flow is important. It's essential. But you gotta go with the right flow. You know what I'm saying? There's a downward flow and there's an upward flow. And, a lot of the things that are um, pushed forward in the media, that get the 100,000 retweets and they get all, that type of thing, that type of engagement. A lot of times the things that are going to get those type of engagements are things that, aren't in alignment with your true divine self. So, you have people that's saying things that they don't even agree with just for likes and retweets. But what is that accomplishing? At the end of the day, you just feeding into the BS. You know what I'm saying? You making things worse than it already is. We had a man, especially us as melanated people, it is time to take your power back. It is time to reclaim yourself within your God state, goddess state. It is time to wake up, because at this point, you either gonna be a sheep or you gonna be a predator. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with sheep. There's nothing wrong with predators. I'm not telling you to be a herbivore or carnivore. All I'm telling you is that there's a difference in thought process between sheeps and predators. Apex predators are like, hey, I gotta get this done. I gotta eat. I gotta survive. I have to do this. I'm doing this for my family, my pack, whatever. The sheep, they're going with the flow all the time. Like, they're easily herded. They require a shepherd. They require somebody to tell them what to do, where to go, how to eat, when to eat. You know what I'm saying? That's what sheep are required for. That's what sheep require. Let's say that. So right now it's important that we take our power back. We don't sit back and allow people to just tell us what to do. Like, let's really just analyze this whole quarantine situation. There's a lot of things that we have to unlearn and relearn. A lot of the things we were taught growing up, what has it gotten us? we're at a point right now where school systems are shut down for the rest of the year. So if they think that school isn't important enough to continue, then what does that tell you about the things they're teaching? If they're like, all right, well, hey, we can shut school down, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, we gonna pay our teachers the bare minimum, okay? You know, because it just seems like what it is that you like America people, the citizens, most people in the world, you know, they are supported and they're only able to do the things they're able to do because of the people at the bottom of the pyramid, right? Well, if you really want to see a change, that means people at the bottom of the pyramid got to change because that's the foundation. You know, you got the foundation of the pyramid. All right. I'm not wanting to down talk anything, but I just want everybody to be aware because if you don't like it, if you don't agree, then you have a choice to speak up. You know, if you feel as if, hey, I don't want this here, or hey, I don't want to be a part of this. Like, you have the right to protest. You have the right to speak. If we sign get a petition to sign millions of signatures and stuff like that, bro, we control everything. Like this is why there's a pyramid system. Everything is controlled off the foundation. Everything, if the foundation is not sturdy, it's gonna tumble over. Okay. Right now, we are draining the foundation of this country. We draining the foundation. The hospital workers, shout out to everybody, the nurses, people that's doing what they can do in order to fight this virus. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying, and the essential workers, like the people who making food, people who can't cook. Shout out to everybody, grocery store workers, like all of that is working. But they get tired too. They get tired too. Why is it that they're being paid minimum wage, minimum this, minimum all that? You know what I'm saying? The lowest of the totem pole. That's why during this apocalypse time where things are shifting, we gotta make the shift too. We gotta say, yo, this is what really needs to be on the forefront. This is what's really important to stop. You know, we give so much to these damn entertainers and athletes. A lot of the entertainment that's out right now is bullshit. And a lot of people know it and they eat it up. They eat it up. You know what I'm saying? And they pay all the money for that. But they don't like to give back to people who actually care about them. People who actually want to do more, and do better to see progression in society. Like, it's important right now that during this apocalypse, you change the way that you think, you unlearn, you relearn. Because a lot of these things that we have learned over time is detrimental to the human body. Shit, growing up, we was taught that drinking milk it makes for strong bones. Now they telling you that milk is nothing but like dyed pus, like that comes straight from cows, and we not supposed to be drinking it. So we should change our outlook on what's going on if we really want to see a change. That's why the apocalypse is now. Like, you have to question. Apocalypse just means that it's the end of a world. Okay, the world that we were living in is over with. We are transitioning now. We are transitioning. We are in the age of Aquarius at this point. We've left the age of Pisces. We're in the age of Aquarius, and that just means that we're in the age of knowing. Because I'm an Aquarius, you guys. So, like, that's the reason why I'm intuitive in a sense. Like, I'm intuitive. Like, when I say I know something, is because I researched it. I've intuitively researched it. I've talked to my mentors or whatever, and I know this for a fact. What I'm saying is that I know that we're transitioning into this new world, and in order to prosper in this new world, it's important that we put each other first. We kind of lost a sense of community. Like, what happened to that? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't born in the 70s or 60s or whatever, but based on how my parents were growing up and based on the stories they taught me, my grandparents, whatever, like the sense of community has greatly diminished over time. You know, we're just way more focused on getting the bag ourselves rather than helping our fellow people. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to help others. Like we're really like a bunch of ants. You don't ever see an ant just doing something by itself. There's a line. There's a line of them everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You step on a pound, everybody coming out and they attacking. They going to work. They fixing it up the same day. They gonna move the stuff back. Like all I'm saying is that during this time, you know, instead of distancing yourself away from people, it's important to actually communicate. It's important to actually, you know, look out for your fellow man because believe it or not, there is a lot of people that are struggling right now. There are a lot of people that just need, some people just need like, hey, like it's gonna be okay. Like, hey, you know, speak life into people. You know, we are all going through it. Trust me, you're not the only one. You know, there's everybody's been affected from what's going on. But are you doing something to, you know, just better yourself? Are you looking out for your fellow man? At the end of the day, if everybody was to die and there was only one man here on this plane, like, how could the human race continue to survive? We need each other. We're that type of species that we thrive off of each other. Basically, I've said it before, and you know, we're like a micro universe. We have a micro universe within us. So the same way you got all your blood cells working together within your body, we're the blood cells for this plane. Okay, so we have to work together. Like it's necessary for us to continue to survive. It's necessary for us to continue to thrive, and it's necessary for us to change. Like what's been going on ain't gonna cut it. You know, this whole virus is it can be seen as bad or good, but in my case, I'm always changing things for the good. I'm optimistic. So when I see things like this, I acknowledge it and I paint the picture. For me, this COVID-19 is basically something that's requiring people to value life again, you know, to value each other. Like, yeah, it's pushing all this fear and everything. And, you know, death is an illusion, but this life is a gift. Like, we're in the present right now, okay? We're in the present. So, you know, you didn't have to wake up another day. You know what I'm saying? If your mission was over, you wouldn't be here right now. So the fact that you're even watching this video means that you're somebody that needs to make a change, that needs to help make a change, like me. You know, we have to hold each other accountable. We can't no longer, you know, boast and brag about celebrities and people that don't do anything for their community. It's like, why do you have all that power and, you know what I'm saying, people out here, like, struggling. Like, you can't even, like, come on now. People out here real deal struggling and you got all this influence and wealth and everything. Why are we appointing people? Why are we putting people up who don't care about us? You know what I'm saying? Why are we continuously listening to music that lowers our vibrations? Like, why don't we question? What happened to thinking outside the box? So now that we're in this time where you know, are kind of required to distance yourself and stay at home or whatever you got to do, it's important to learn the truth because it's out there. Like all the stuff that's been hidden for all these years, you can Google it. For real. A lot of these things that people are claiming to be conspiracies, they aren't. People just look deeper into things. If you're the one to take everything for face value, you're easily manipulated. Like my actions say one thing, but I tell you one thing else. Like, are you gonna believe my actions or are you gonna believe my words? All I'm saying is that it's important that we question. A lot of people on the news, And they just feeding all this fear and propaganda. We don't even know them people. Like, you're taking somebody who you have no idea of their background, like me, for example. You don't know my background. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm telling you, it's like it's gonna resonate or it's not. But either way, how do you know what I'm saying is true? So it's the same way. People question people like me that may be on YouTube starting their channel fresh. You may question me, but why don't you question the media? Because they have a certificate? Like, they feed you what they want to feed you, and you don't question it at all. But I tell you the truth, and it's like, oh, nah, something's off. Nah, man, the thing that's off is you. You got to get back on. turn your mind on. Like, I got a question. Like, yesterday was Easter, right? You got the Pope that did his whole service on live stream. Like, there was nobody in there. This the Pope, bro. This supposed to be one of the holiest men on the planet. And even this guy's telling you all to social distance yourselves. Like, why don't you question that? Why don't we sit back and be like, you know, we're always talking about how this, how, Jesus is this and this, that, the other, and how I'm always healed and how I'm this, that. Well, why is it that during this time, if we have so much faith and we know for a fact that He's going to provide, why are we afraid to go to church? Why are the preachers and pastors afraid to host church? Is their faith really that of what it seems? Is their faith really as strong as what it seems? Are they really that connected? These are questions we gotta ask ourselves now, cause bro, all the stuff is out in the open. Like, it's. I'm saying this because I want people to start thinking for themselves. It's important, especially now with school being out and everybody has to go to homeschool. So now you're having to figure out, what do I need to teach my child? What do I need? How do I need to? Where do I begin? This is why it's always been important to learn for yourself anyway. If we was to just go to school and then get out of school and just cut the learning off from there, bro, there would be nobody that is successful within this society, because half the shit that is important to life here in the United States or wherever, you don't learn in school. More than half of the shit that's important to survive outside of school, you don't even learn in school. So now that it's out, it's like, okay, what am I supposed to be teaching? This is why it's important to do your research, to learn for yourself, man. Stop being force fed all the bullshit, because that's if you keep being force fed, they gonna keep feeding you. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's now time to make a difference. It's time to really, like, hey, we need to wake up. Not things aren't gonna be the same no more. Wake up. You're not gonna no. You're not going. We're not gonna go to prom unless we have our own prom. It's dead. Like, what's next? We need to start inventing things that are new, innovation. We need to start creating new systems. The time is now. Bro, I promise you, after this thing is over with, for one, the malls probably gonna be all gone. The malls are probably gonna be over with. People are still gonna be wearing masks after this because people are gonna be afraid. So people wearing masks and stuff, man, it's like you naturally, like, if you've ever seen Watchmen on Hulu, before they canceled, if you ever seen the Watchmen, it's gonna be a society like that, where you got people wearing masks, who is supposed to be protecting these vigilantes and all these people, the cops even wearing masks, citizens wearing masks. Like, we're making this into, bro, it's becoming a reality right now. Like, come on now. There's so many people waking up right now, and then the fact that people are waking up at such a young age is a beautiful thing, because people aren't realizing these things until like they 30 or 40. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my fellow generation, my millennials and people, younger that's actually like, all right, we need to make a change so that we can live on this planet after all these other folks just die. All these other folks die off. Like everybody that's in power right now, they're not gonna live forever. So we have to do the things that's gonna, be good for us and our children and our grandchildren. Because if we don't, what are we gonna have? We got the power, bro. We got the power to really change what we're transitioning to. I'm not saying tech is bad. I'm not saying 5G, all that crazy stuff. Like, I know personally I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a need. Like this body, this tech that I'm in right now. I mean, come on now. This is cream of the crop. So anything that you can build that's externalized, you may have the information, but it doesn't have the consciousness. That's a big factor. That's the power in itself. You can have intellect. That's cool. But if you don't have a consciousness, like a soul, then it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? And for us, for the people that do have that consciousness, it's time for us to make a change. It's time for us to, take over. I mean, we have the power, we have the knowledge, and you might as well apply it. If you don't apply it, it's like not riding a bike in 15, 20 years. Like, you may lose it. All right? Keep that in mind. Regardless, man, it's gonna be more neighborhood niggas talk on the way. Please like, share, comment, all that jazz. And I just want everybody to be prayed up, connect with yourself, meditate, try to eat differently, do things that's gonna raise your vibrations. Go outside, stop being afraid, go into nature, go in a park. A tree is not gonna give you coronavirus. You can go hug a tree, you can put your feet in the grass, you're not gonna get infected. If anything, it'll do the exact opposite. Alright? So anyway, that's it for today. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Show love.